Okay, it's been 2 years since I started this model, and I haven't been touching it much at all since then. So, I say, no more procrastinating. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start working on this model again. So, let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown. Yeah, okay. Alright, first things first. I'm going to work on the Ohmu. So the figures are done, but I need to work on the Ohmu. So let's get started on that. Yeah. Since I'm not satisfied with the color of the Ohmu, it's a little bit too dark, I'm going over it again with neutral gray. And it's an enamel wash, so here we go. It's nice and watery. Just go ahead and apply it to the whole model like this here. This looks considerably better. Has a lighter color to it. Looks pretty nice. So the Ohmu has all of these eyeballs. I've kept them on the runners, and I'll just dip them into Future 4 polish to make them nice and shiny. Dab off the excess, because we don't want the excess to dry on them. We'll do the same for the rest here. I'm getting it on my hands. There. I got some extra. Get out of here. There we go. Alright. There, I think that should dry nicely now. Gotta wash my hands. Smells nice, at least. So everything looks pretty nice. This looks pretty cool. I like the detail. It looks pretty great. So, it's still not good enough though. What I'm going to do is do some dry brushing. This is Model Master, Testors Model Master Enamel Paint Sand. So, I'm going to do some dry brushing with the sand. So let's get started. Okay, this is the first time I've used this paint. So, it's been sitting around for a couple years. Oh crap. Look at that. Me so clumsy. Yeah, so I have not used this paint at all, so it's kind of clumpy. Just need to mix this up a bit. Gosh, it's clumpy. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's still pretty liquid. It's not dried out or anything. It's just it's just really separated. So it's been a while. Yeah, I bought this paint in America for the specific purpose of this model. Now, I live in Japan now, and Model Master enamels, I don't think I can buy them here. The acrylics, yes, I can buy those. I can order them off of, I know Rakuten for sure. Amazon Japan has them. And there is a model shop in Shizuoka, Rainbow 10, which I did a video of a year or so ago. They've since moved locations though, so it's not quite the way it used to be. They reduced all of their radio control car inventory. They've gotten rid of that and they're just focusing on plastic models, which is cool with me because I don't care about RC cars. I've had at least one guy, or maybe a couple guys, commented on some of my videos saying, hey, why don't you do RC stuff, and why don't you cover that in Japan, because I'd like to see that. But you know what, I can't be everything to everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna close this, seeing as how I am a huge spaz. I don't want to drop that. Alright, so I'm just gonna work this out. Okay, so my strategy here is so this thing is going to be stampeding around in the ground, right? So I just want to dry brush mostly along the bottom, because that's where it's going to be mostly dusty, right? I would say so. So I'm going to get definitely on the legs. Get lots of sand color on the legs here, but mostly on the bottom part. Don't want to get too much up here. Just mostly down here. So that looks kind of nice, huh? Looks kind of cool. Nice, huh? So yeah, let me skip ahead. I'll just continue working on this and show you when I'm finished here. It's pretty cool. I'm sure the face will probably get a lot when I get the face. You notice I have not attached the eyes yet. Just kind of get the face kind of dusty. And then work on the other sides here. Nice, nice. Yeah, okay, I'll skip ahead. This looks pretty cool. So I'm going to try to get this in a good light here. But this model has some really awesome texture to it. I really like the texture to the insect's shell. It's pretty cool. So it really helps with dry brushing. The feet, the legs are mostly kind of not really dry, more like wet dry brushing. I just applied mostly paint. Not really dry brushing, but it was the brush is pretty wet. So yeah, the legs are looking pretty cool. So yeah, the texture to the shell really helps with bringing out some real realism with the dry brushing. Pretty freaking cool. So I did a little bit on top here, not a lot, but you know, mostly getting it down below, and of course the face. So neat. Next, I'm gonna have to apply some blood. And to do that, I figure that the best thing would be just I have Testors blue. Now this might be too light colored, so I might mix it with a little bit of black to kind of darken it up. But we'll see. So yeah, Testors blue is next. Blah. So this is Testors blue. It's maybe a little bit too blue. It's not really dark enough, I don't think. I want to maybe darken it with just a little bit of black. See how this turns out. Now a little bit of black can go a long way, so I just want to mix this up first before proceeding. Of course it looks kind of grayish, but I'll have to keep stirring it just to darken it up here. It's looking okay, I guess. So what I want to do is, now I don't have to totally match Nausicaa here, because of course she was wearing like a beige kind of an outfit, and then it just instantly stained her clothing blue. So I don't have to get it too dark, but I just want to get it kind of dark enough. Maybe I'll add just a drop or so of enamel thinner. There we go. Just to make it a little bit smooth. Not much, just maybe a drop or so. Maybe one more. There we go. That should do it, maybe. There. And then go ahead and apply it. Blue blood. That's gonna look pretty cool, I guess. So, just kind of, it's gonna have blood coming down like that. And just kind of paint around the base of all of the wounds. There. Just put a whole bunch on here. There. Cool. Alright, I'll skip to the chase and show you the finished results. So this looks pretty cool, huh? I made sure to brush along the legs, because of course the blood will be falling on the legs. I also kind of like brushed upwards, kind of flicked it up to kind of simulate blood spray. Looks like I missed a little bit here. Yeah. So neat, huh? So yeah, I'm done here. Sure. What I might do is maybe paint some on Nausicaa's hands here. Get some blood on her hands, maybe. Might be kind of cool. Because after all, she's been touching the guy. And actually, I think I might go over her own wounds here on her foot and on her shoulder. Now this is gloss, Testors gloss paints is what I'm using here, so it should dry shiny. And what I want to do is, for Nausicaa's wounds, kind of go over this, because I went over this with acrylic paint, but I want to do this with red enamel paint, make it look kind of, cartoony blood, kind of shiny and such. That would look pretty cool, I guess. So yeah, I might do that. Next, this guy needs eyeballs. So, ah crap, the stupid sword fell off again. Dang it. I need to super glue it or something. That's gonna cause sources of frustration. So, I have dipped these in Future, as you saw earlier, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure I videoed that. And what I want to do is I'm going to use, again, going back to Testors Gloss Enamels, red. I'm going to paint the back side of these eyeballs to make them look real angry. Neat. So here we go. I'm just going to paint the inside of the eyeballs. Make sure there's no brush strokes or whatever, just make sure it goes in evenly. I filled the little paint tray with some Testors gloss red enamel. And just kind of paint on the inside of the bowl of the eyeball lens, whatchamacallit. And then from the outside, oh, that looks pretty cool. Now I could see here I missed a little spot here. There. So, with the gloss coating, the future coating on the outside, that looks pretty darn nice. Very, very nice. So, proceed to paint the rest of the eyeballs in the same manner. Very nice. Very, very nice. I just have to keep looking on from the outside to make sure I didn't miss any spots, because that would look kind of stupid, I think. Yeah. Very nice. Sorry, my daughter's singing this whole time. She's happy. So, alright, I'll show you the finished result. Red enamel paint, gloss enamel, has been painted on Nausicaa's wounds. Also on her hand too, because if you remember, she clutches her wounded shoulder with her hand. And so looks kind of cool. So she got a blue hand and a red hand. Yay. She's seen better days, I'm sure. Surf's up, space ponies. I'm making gravy without the lumps. Nausicaa just took another nosedive. Stand up, you silly lady. Alright. I thought about maybe making some brighter blue to go on top, to make like the darker blue is kind of like older blood, and then lighter blue is like new blood coming out. Like after it's, you know, kind of fused with the dirt and stuff, it's gotten kind of dark, and the new blood is coming out. So I went over each wound with just the regular basic Testors blue gloss. I think it looks kind of cool. What do you think? Well, now is the time to attach these eyes. Now, you may know of micro crystal clear. I wish I knew about this stuff when I was doing the Tamiya Honda Fit video. This is for gluing clear parts. It's really, really cool. It does not cause any clouding at all, like regular model glue will. It's not, you know, it doesn't react like lacquer would. Cause I think some of the, these paints are, I'm sorry, the glue is lacquer based, like Tamiya cement, for example. I think it will craze the plastic. The same goes for the Testors, the toxic kind, the kind that smells really good. But this stuff will not do it. I'm not going to use this though. I'm going to try something new. I got this stuff here. This is made by Mr. Hobby, and the name of this is a heck of a lot of kanji here, so it's quite a mouthful. This is Bitome Setchakuzai. Bitome Setchakuzai. Basically, it's, you know, gluing and attaching clearly, basically, for clear parts. Is what that would translate to. So you can see here it's for modeling. And you can do your canopy of your model airplanes and stuff. It's also for gluing like little sparkly things for ladies to do, you do their crafts as well. And it comes with this little nifty applicator here. So at least this isn't English, it says open. Mr. Hobby usually has like Mr. Clear Parts or something, but this is just blah. It's kind of out of character for Gunsei Sangyo, I think, or GSI Krios, whatever the hell they're named now. So, alright, I'm going to throw this package out. So it comes with this little tube here and this little cute applicator. Let's see what's inside here. Do I have to... No? I don't have to poke a hole, I don't think. Maybe I do. Can I just squirt it out? Jeez. Yeah, okay. Huh. Alright, it's quite a bit different than microcrystal clear. This is kind of like a creamy... This is more of a gel. Well, let's get started. So, when I painted these, I made sure to paint on the outside rim to make sure that the whole thing is red. So, maybe let's try one of the smaller eyeballs here. Let's cut this off. Okay, that's kind of clear. Perhaps I can kind of round it out a little bit. That's not bad, I guess. So, oh jeez, don't drop the camera, you fool. Alright, so we got this little applicator guy here. Now, I wonder if the best way to do it is to apply it to this, perhaps? Maybe so. Okay. And then we're going to stick it on. I believe this is the smallest. Nope, it's not. Gotta pay attention here. Jeez. Jeez, the frickin' Louise, people. Gotta be careful here. So if it doesn't craze the plastic, I imagine it won't attack the paint either. Let's make sure we get this on the right eyeball socket here. It might fit on one of these here. Okay. I think I might have to come up with a plan of attack first. Figure out exactly which of these go where. According to the instructions, there is B, C, D, E, and F. Oh, and A. Jeez. Okay, I guess A is going to be the smallest ones. Unfortunately, I've already cut these off, so I don't know which ones are which. Obviously, the small ones are going to go on the very bottom here. Maybe I'll start with those and work my way up. So, let's cut these off the runners here. Okay. One. Two. Okay. Now let's maybe kind of cut off the excess here without cutting my finger, of course. Gosh, it's kind of hard. It's so small. So freaking small, dude. Jeez. How am I gonna do this without injuring myself? There we go. Alright. Oh, the small part's kind of difficult, isn't it? Alright. Now let's see about this glue stuff here. See, I don't know, maybe I can use my little tweezers here. And use this to apply it on there. Okay, looks kind of nice, I guess. So the small ones go on the small one here. Oh, and it dropped. Oh gosh. This is kind of hard. Oh. Alright. I need a third hand here. Golly. Okay, that did it. Phew. Alright, let's just try to reposition this a little bit better. Alright. Golly. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. So this stuff kind of reminds me of Testors glue, except it's not stringy. It's not all spider webby. There's another one done. And actually, the part where I cut it from the sprue, if I can kind of like just rotate it a little bit to where there's like a kind of the eye socket kind of forms a bit of a wall. That might be best to hide the slight imperfection. If I can get the plastic to cooperate with me. I guess that's good. So I was saved because, okay, A being the smallest and then F being the largest. Here's the runners right here. It explains everything. So there's actually 2 pairs of C size. So, lucky. Because I do not have the letters on this at all. Okay, here's the last piece. I'm going to cut it off here first. And cut it off here. That looks a lot better. And then cut just a little bit. There. Next, I found that it's easier to just apply glue to the area and then put the eyeball in the socket. Bet people watching this would be like, well, duh, I could have told you that, Greg or Steve or whatever the hell your name is. Well, you know what, I'm learning, so these videos are mostly for myself, actually. Everybody else is just invited along for the ride. If you want to watch, that's cool. But I'm using these videos to learn. So here we go. Here's the ferocious little insect, so cute and angry. Rawr. So that finishes it. Oh yeah, I did dry brush the belly here, even though it's not really necessary because no one's gonna see it, I don't think. But I did it anyways. So all of the eyeballs are in place. It looks pretty nice. I'm gonna take some pictures of this, maybe put it on my website. This is done. You know, that Teto, the little fox squirrel, is done. Nausicaa is obviously done. The Ohmu's done. Now I must make the diorama. That's the only part that's next, so you'll see that in the next video. Can't promise when that'll be, but I'm going to try to force myself to do that pretty soon. I do have an airbrush now, so my wife keeps nagging me to make the Knight Rider model, so I will try working on that as well. So, yeah, again, this stuff, Beat Tome Sechakuzai. That's a long mouthful, but it makes this glue kind of stuff, and that's what I use to apply. Now, to compare it to microcrystal clear, I'll get a toothpick for this. This goes on just like Elmer's school glue, pretty much. It's white, and then it dries clear. So, I haven't really used this, but I did test it out on my Goof Up Knight Rider model body. I can see it's kind of makes a little bit of a gloss, kind of a sheen to it, but other than that, it certainly does dry clear. So yeah, microcrystal clear is probably what everybody in America will probably be able to obtain. Here in Japan, actually, to be honest, I did buy this in Japan, but at Rainbow 10, but this is maybe more widely known, I suppose. Made by GSI Craos. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the diorama. I'm really nervous about that, but I'll get to it. Bye.